Okay, 1.1, day one, we're going to look at some parent functions. A parent function is the most basic function in a function family. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this equation and this equation. These are both families of functions that we are familiar with from Algebra 1. Okay, the equation here is y equals x. We're going to make a table for it just to remind us what it looks like and how that relates to the equation. But after that, we won't. Okay, this says whatever y equals x equals. I've given you the x values here. So if x is 2, y is 2. Okay, if x is 1, plug in 1 here, y equals 1. If x is 0, y is 0. If x is negative 1, y is negative 1, negative 2. Let's go ahead and graph these points. 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, x, y, 1, 1. 0, 0 is at the origin. Negative 1, negative 1. Negative 1, negative 2. Now, I only picked 5 values for this graph, but it goes infinitely in each direction, so I'm going to make it nice and long. It's going to look like this. Okay, what does this graph look like? This is a line. So this family of graphs is the linear graphs. Okay, now how do I know it's linear? If I look at the x, y equals x, there's nothing being done to it. It's not being squared. It's not being square rooted. There's nothing weird happening to it, so it's considered a linear graph. Because we know slope-intercept form, we also know that the y-intercept here is 0, and the slope is up 1 over 1. So this is a linear graph. Anytime I see a line, it is a linear graph. It's from the linear family. Okay, the next one is y equals x squared. So I'm going to plug 2 in. 2 squared is 4. 1 squared is 1. 0 squared is 0. Now, if you plug in negative 1 squared is negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Okay, let's go ahead and graph these. 2, 4 is up here. 1, 1. 0, 0. Negative 1, positive 1, negative 2, and positive 4. It goes over here. Okay, let's look at the shape of this graph. Okay, this is a graph we've seen before. This is called a parabola. Okay, now the shape of this graph is called a parabola. Okay, it makes that U shape and it should be curved. It could open up, it could go down, it could even open sideways, although we won't learn that yet. Okay, if I look at the equation, the reason I knew it was a parabola is because they had an x squared. The degree of the x is 2. When the degree of x is 2, we call that quadratic. So this is a quadratic function because of the squared, x squared. The shape of the graph is a parabola, but the family is quadratic. Okay, let's look at 2 other families. Okay, this symbol right here is called absolute value. These straight bars mean the absolute value. Absolute value technically means distance from 0. So if I do I'm going to plug in 2 here. If I do the absolute value of 2, it means how many spaces from 0 is 2? Well, it's 2 spaces. Some people also say it turns out positive. Absolute value of 1. If I start at 0, 1 is 1 space from 0. Okay, the absolute value of 0 is 0, because 0 is 0 spaces from 0. Now if I do negative 1, the absolute value of negative 1 is the number of spaces from 0. Negative 1 is from 0. So if I go, negative 1's right here. If I go to 0, that's 1 space. So this is 1. The absolute value of negative 2, well, negative 2 is 2 spaces from 0, so this is 2. When you absolute value a number, you will always get a non-negative value. So some people say, oh, it always turns out positive. Whatever helps you remember it, although 0, 0 is neutral. Okay, let's graph 2, 2. 1, 1. 0, 0. Negative 1, positive 1 is up here. Negative 2, positive 2 is here. Now, I know this kind of looks like a parabola, but it's not because it's perfectly straight on either side, so it makes a V shape. So this goes this way. This goes this way, and it should be straight. And if you look at it, it looks like a line with a slope of 1. Up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. On the other side, the slope is negative 1. Up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1. Okay, the shape looks like a V. The family of graphs is called absolute value. And that's because those 2 bars are called absolute value. But anytime you see absolute value, it will make a V shape. Okay, one more. Last one, y equals x cubed. I'm going to tell you the family first. Since this is cube, this is the cubic family. Okay, let's plug in 2. 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, 1 to the third. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 0 cubed is 0. Now be careful here. Negative 1 to the third is negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1. But then when I times it by negative 1 again, it goes back to negative 1. Okay, negative 2 cubed. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4, and then positive 4 times negative 2 goes back to negative 8. So I'm going to graph this so we can see the shape. 2, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 1, 0, 0. Negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 2 is negative 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I count wrong on the other way? I did count wrong. This one should be up 1, I think. Is it up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down there. Okay, now this one's kind of looks like this weird thing. I kind of think it looks like a waterfall. Okay, but when it goes up on one side and down on the other side, it's often a cubic function. It's something odd because it's mismatched on either side. So this is some kind of odd function. This is a cubic function. Okay, now we're not going to graph these yet. We're just going to recognize their family based on their equation or the shape of their graph. So let's look at the first example. Okay, this is just asking for the parent function. The parent function is linear, quadratic, absolute value, or cubic. So you want to look for the variable and you want to see what they're doing to the variable. Let's see, f of x. Remember, f of x is a fancy notation for y equals negative 3. And then I see absolute value of x plus 1. Right? When I see absolute value, I'm like, oh, they're absolute valuing the x. They're doing a bunch of other stuff too, but I know they're doing absolute value. So this is some kind of V shape. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's some kind of V shape, so it's called absolute value. Okay, if you're starting to get the hang of it, pause the video and then check your answers. Okay, this B. G of x equals 3 halves x cubed. I'm just looking at the x. X cubed. Cubed, cubic. So I don't know exactly what it does, but I know it's going to go up on one side, down on the other side. Okay, for C, h of x equals 1 half x minus 2 squared. That's squared, quadratic. Okay, D. Y equals 2x plus 7. What are we doing to the x? And we're timesing it by 2. We're not squaring it. We're not doing anything. Technically, the exponent on it is a 1. This is linear. Also, if I graphed it, I could graph it. The y-intercept is 7. The slope is 2. Let's look at E. Y equals the quantity 2x minus 4 cubed. Right, when I see the x is somehow being cubed, I'm going to go cubic. Okay, last one, F. M of x equals 2x minus 4, the quantity plus 7. Are we doing anything to the 2x minus 4? No. I'm timesing it by 2, but I'm not squaring it. I'm not square rooting it. I'm not cubing it. So this is still linear. Okay, example 1, we identified the parent function from the equation. Now we're going to identify the parent function from the graph. And I'm just going based on the shape. I'm not going to worry about the equation. Okay, let's look at A. And if you feel confident, you can work ahead and check your answers. Okay, it's got this weird waterfall. It's going up on one side, down on the other side. That's cubic. What's B look like? B has this nice V shape. If it's a V, absolute value. And it's only asking for the parent function. It's not asking for any other information. Okay, what about C? Well, it's up on the left, down on the right. Up on one side, down on the other side. Cubic. This, it looks like a line. If it's a line, it's linear. Linear is the adjective. Okay, what is this thing? Is it a V? No, it's curved, which makes it a parabola. If it's a parabola, it's quadratic. Some kind of squared in it. How about the last one? What shape is this? Oh, it's not the last one, just kidding. Okay, it's opening down. It does look like a parabola. It's curved, so it must be quadratic again. Okay, how about this? What is this? Does this look curved? No, it has a V. It looks like there's a sharp point there. So this is a V. If it's a V, absolute value. Okay, what about this last one here? This looks like it's a line. If it's a line, linear.